permafrost. Read the ledger of the geometry we lost. Lungs exhaling grey mist in a steady stream. The black ire is the only functioning machine. Black ice creeping up the boots to the knee joint. The blade is just the geometry of the point. Frostbit, 10 knuckles gripping on the axis shaft. Calculate the wind age of the common killer draft. Rib cage is a harness for the oxygen flow. Calibrate the marrow to the status of the snow. Holy, the heavy bows survive the hard coast. Stay right, stiffen the radius under the cold load. Calcium geometry against the white wall. Physics of the marrow never let the body fall. Stay wait, stay wait, stay wait. Tendons tighten under strain of the compression. Hardening the skeleton is the only true lesson. Femur is a pylon in the frozen nerve guider. Save the weaker structures from the lower strata nerve grid. Pulsing with the signal of the absolute biometric power in the ancestral pursuit. Vertebrae locked in a vertical constraint. The black ire ignores the system failure incomplete. Thick in the calvarium, the shield, the processor. Ice is the only valid computation. A lock press or skull plates fused to the density of the stone. Worship at the altar of the singular bone. Only the heavy bones survive the hard code. Stay white, stiffen the radius under the cold load. Calcium geometry against the white wall. Physics of the marrow never let the body fall. Stay white, stay wait. Stay white, stay wait. Metacarpal clutching at the edge of the fissure show the failure point of atmospheric pressure. Cartilage turns into the harness of the shield. There is no variance within the kill field. Exoskeletal faith is the only law now. Shatter the lower density and forget the plow. Axe summoned and bright rewired for the warpath. Entropy is fixed within the glass, show a math. Jawbone grinding on the granite of the shelf. The system is discerning, also carry yourself. Calculate the friction of the femoral weight. The protocol of Valhalla is a hard drive freight. Tear through the muscle to the anchor in the joint. Death is just a data entry at the 0 point. Scalpel of the wings cutting to the white core. This is the geometry of the endless. Only the heavy bones survive the hard cold. Stay wait, stiffen the radius under the cold load. Calcium geometry against the white wall. Physics of the marrow never let the body fall. Stay wait, stay wait. Density is victory. Static is the history. Bones become the glacier. Ice is the new barrier.
North wind bites at the marrow and stone. Wiped out data in the valley alone. Iron grip tight on the shaft of the oak. Breath like a signal in a column of smoke. Calibration of the ocular nerve. Frozen geometry, pattern and curve. Ribs are the cage for the rhythmic reset. Deep in the marrow, the winter is set.
Still no shivering bone.
Monolith statue, the ice on the throne.
Jaw locked, shut in the cold.
Ancient, the cold that the tendons will hold.
Still no shivering bone.
Kingdom of ashen, the silence is known. Unblinking frost rimmed eye, lashes stay. Scanning the horizon for the binary prey. Snow piling up on the shoulder blade ledge. Body is sharpened like a carbonized edge. Kinetic potential is locked in the thigh. 0 point logic under mercury sky. Skeleton framework is steady and stiff. Standing like granite on the edge of the cliff. Nerves out of the wires of a predator grid. Deep in the cranium, the panic is hit. Cut the pulse of the weaker thought. Victory data is hardly bought. Ligaments just like a bowstring in tension. Physical geometry, fourth dimension. Axe head heavy on the frozen belt. Colder than anything the tundra has felt.
Still no shiver in bone.
Monolith statue, the ice on the throne.
Jaw locked, shut in the cold.
Ancient the code that the tendons will hold.
Still no shiver in bone.
Kingdom of Ashen, the silence is low. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see Elias forming in the river of blood. Calibration complete at the bottom of breath. Geometry perfect in the shadow of death. 5 beats missing in the chest cavity. Master of physics and gravity. Lungs are stagnant like a winter well. Quiet as hell in the shell of the cell. System override of the muscle spasm. Jump in the gap of the synaptic chasm. Calibrate the angle of the iron wrist. Nothing remains in the blizzard and mist. Femur is solid as a mountain root. Stomp the program with a frozen boot. Data is hardened and the output is clear. Anatomy hardened beyond any fear.
Still no shiver in bone.
Monolith statue, the ice on the throne.
Jaw locked, shut in the cold.
Ancient the cold that the tendons will hold.
Still no shiver in bone.
Kingdom of Ashen, the silence is gold. Ribs of iron, iron. Ribs of iron, iron. Geometry of the north. The north.
Some light, calcium scaffold locking in tight. Empty iron pot, resonance cold. Geometry fractured, story is told. Chewing strip birch bark, wood in the jaw. Processing fibers, biological law. Gastric walls closing, atrophy start. Mechanized logic, stripping apart. Tendons like cables, pulling the frame. Binary system, no one to blame. Input the hunger, output the void. Sensory data, human destroyed. Spine is a column, vertical code. Static is surging, taking the road. L-O-G-I-C. Recalibrate, bone to the steel. Hardware upgrade, senses unreal. Tighten the belt, notch number 10. Deleting the fat, remaking the men. Recalibrate, bone to the steel. Hardware upgrade, senses unreal. Tighten the belt, notch number 10. Deleting the fat, remaking the men. Ribs pressing leather, armor on skin. Physical limits wearing so thin. Cartilage grinding, dry socket sound. Gravity constant, pin to the ground. Calibration, setting the zero. Logic of iron, no need for hero. Ligament tension, torque in the knee. Static transmission, nothing is free. Axe on the fist, nerve in the wire. Internal aging, cold as the fire. Heuristic scanning, path in the floor. Skeleton marching, ready for war. Density shifting, masses alive. Geometry, look at the sky. Blood is the coolant running the line. Bone is the chassis built by design. Stomach is muscle shrunken and hard. Nerves are the fuses black and the charred. No more digestion, only the will. Physics of famine perfectly still. Recalibrate, bone to the steel. Hardware upgrade, senses unreal. Tighten the belt, notch number 10. Deleting the fat, remaking the men. Recalibrate, bone to the steel. Hardware upgrade, senses unreal. Tighten the belt, notch number 10. Deleting the fat, remaking the men.
Memory was died, I burned into thought. Better equations, everything bought. Frozen alive, or cold as the spleen. Nothing excused, becoming machine. Birch, bark, and mouth, fiber and dust. Armor is cranking, iron and rust. Fellas, I'm on it, the circuit is red. Terminal status, nothing is sped. Kinetic energy stored in the hip. Tightening screws, losing the grip. Physics, I'm Viking, hammer and nail. Logic of winter never will fail.
Iron pot and dip. Rims on the leather. Data is hardened. Winter is forever.
Scanning the calcium, reading the frame. Kinetic exhaustion, extinguishing flame. I view the structure with optical code. System parameters jagged and old. Severed Achilles, tendon is sliced. Movement encryption is paid at a price. Analyzing data, the ligament snaps. Caught in the logic of lethal traps.
Heel to the earth, the connection is gone.
Gravity vectors are shifting by dawn. Structural void in the lower base. Failure of motion in physical space.
Bone and iron, data and dash.
Critical failure, the system crash.
Read the geometry, measure the pain.
Calibrate axis of blood in the rain.
Neural net shut down, hardwire break.
Calculating the toll that the iron will take.
Crushed clavicle bone, the bridge is caved. No internal files are currently saved. Analyzing a punctured lung, air loss is steep. Pressure is dropping, the vacuum is deep. Thoracic wall breach, the oxygen leaks. Metal is grinding on vertebrae peaks. Input the trauma, the marrow is exposed. The gate to the air supply tightly is closed. Check the alignment, the scapula drips. Anatomical shards and tectonic shifts. Rib number 7 is snapped at the root. Crushed by the weight of the heavy steel.
Bone and iron, data and dash.
Critical failure, the system crash.
Read the geometry, measure the pain.
Calibrate axis of blood in the rain.
Neural net shut down, hardwire break.
Calculating the toll that the iron will take. Studying the mechanical failure of a knee. Zero resistance, the socket is free. Patella displaced, the cartilage shreds. Neural pathways are hanging in threads. A-N-E, he spells me. Synovial fluid is leaking like oil. Muscle assemblies begin to uncoil.
Interface broken, the femur is split. Calculating damage, a total direct hit. Processing shrapnel and subdermal layers. Silence the vocal cord, silence the prayers. Radius fracture, the ulna is void. Manual dexterity fully destroyed. Optic nerve flicker, the resolution drops. The bioelectric current now stops. Calibrating strike force, angle is true. Geometry dictates the work that I do. Final assessment, the tissue is spent. Metal has forced a structural bend.
Bone and iron, data and dash.
Critical failure, the system crash.
Read the geometry, measure the pain.
Calibrate axis of blood in the rain.
Neural net shut down, hardwire break.
Calculating the toll that the iron will take.
Hardware, degrade.
Weight of the mountain of broken ribs, nerve shutting down like system glitch. Blue fingertips turning translucent, gravity ends the blood movement. Ice crystals forming on the collarbone, body revert into granite stone. Calibration of the nervous mesh, thermal equilibrium inside the flesh. Breath is failing to vaporize, data is fading from frozen eyes. 0 degrees in the central node, executing the famine code.
Ambience,
The cold is the law,
ambience,
the ice is the jaw. Cold blood matching the frozen land, iron will in a frozen hand.
ambience. One.
One with the war. Cortex locking the final gate, geometry dictates the warrior's fate. Bone marrow turning to solid lead, system is archiving all the dead. Tendons stiffen like braided steel, physical limits no longer real. Input the pressure of moving nice, nature demanding the full price. Armor is fused to the frozen skin, ancient geometry logged within. Fracture the radius, fracture the ulna. Death is a data stream from Valhalla. Cellular structure with algorithm, crushing the beat with the mortal rhythm. Scanning the permafrost for the breach, power beyond the human reach. No more vapor on the intake. No more shiver, no more shake. Equal to the ice around, equal to the frozen ground. Bone to mountain, blood to sleet. Physical geometry complete. System lock, system lock. Calibration stable, physical law is the table. Code is cold, code is cold. The ice is my body, the story is told.
Ambience,
The cold is the law,
ambience,
the ice is the jaw. Cold blood matching the frozen land, iron will in a frozen hand.
ambience. What?
One with the war. Translucent skin on the collarbone. Scout is reverting to granite stone. Ambient temp reach the core. Warrior walking the white floor.
Midnight shadows cast a binary glow. The permafrost is ready for the flow. Calibrating distance to the target point. System error found in every joint. I scan the architecture of your cervical spine. The geometry of treason is a jagged line. Your bone marrow data shows a corrupted file. I process the extraction without a single smile. I calculate the tension in your nervous system. Your warnings were a glitch and I refuse to listen. You broke the ancient code written in the iron. Now you face the vacuum of the cold horizon. My lungs are pumping oxygen like heavy bellows. The law is digital and strictly black and yellows. I map the coordinates of your carotid pulse. The logic of the sequence leaves me no remorse. Your respiratory pattern is a weakened signal. The execution method is entirely clinical. 0 degrees on the horizontal axis. Physical data revealing the cracks. I terminate the bloodline with a single strike. Crushing the system with the iron pike. Swing the iron, break the bone. On the altar, made of stone. Your radius and ulna start to shake and shiver. I am the compiler and the pain deliver. I check the calibration of the steel-edged bit. Your anatomical structure is about to quit. There is no ghost inside the shell of your rib cage, just carbon-based matter on a dying state. I measure the velocity of the coming impact, keeping the integrity of the law intact. You are a failing unit in the tribal grid, doing exactly what the primary logic forbid. I observe the moisture on your ocular lens. I do not recognize the concept of defense. I align the blade with the base of the skull. The void in my expression is entirely full. 0 degrees on the horizontal axis. Physical data revealing the cracks. I terminate the bloodline with a single strike, crushing the system with the iron pike. Swing the iron, break the bone, on the altar, made of stone. Dum dum da, dum dum da, dum dum da, dum dum da. Lumbar vertebrae, cranium, tendon, femur, kinetic force in a perfect arc, lighting up the valley where the sky is dark. No hesitation in the hardware drive, only the algorithm stays alive.
I release the safety on the muscular hinge. I do not feel the phantom pain or any twinge. The axe velocity is climbing past the limit. I see the end and I am standing right within it. The steel bisects the cartilage, a connective tissue. There is no moral depth or any other issue. The horizontal swing cuts through the air and bone. I am the calibrator standing all alone. I watch the severed head impacting with the dirt. No neural signals left to process any hurt. I track the trajectory of the crimson spray. It is the only data left to clear the way. Your vocal cords are severed from the central hub. I am the iron hand and you are just a stub.
An unbroken stare at the empty space. No shifting of the features on my frozen face. I check the precision of the final cut. The processing of brother is now finally shut. I take a piece of linen for the cleaning phase. I wipe the blade slowly in a steady maze, removing organic matter from the serrated edge, fulfilling the requirements of the iron pledge. No heat in the marrow, no fire in the vein, only the physics of the falling rain. I stole the weapon in the leather sleeve. I have no data that would make me grieve.
Calibrate the strike sharp as the spike. Steel locks on the gate, physics of fate. Iron meets the wood like a warrior should. Spark hits the floor, opening the door. Torches are the code, watch the silo explode. Fire is the tool, setting the rule. Nerves tight as a string, hear the Valkyrie sing. Bones carry the weight,
Sealing the fate, roast the wheat, burn the street.
screams are just sound buried in the ground.
Roast the wheat, burn the street.
Winter is here, killing the fear. Ignore the signal, total withdrawal. They cry for the weak. I don't know defeat. Bleeding is static, my axe is automatic. Tears are just data.
Delete it till later.
Ribs cage the fire, grain is the pyre. Marrow runs cold like prophecy told. Tendons stretch and pull till the system is full. Ash is the file,
Building the pile.
geometry of smoke, breaking their yoke. Sparks hit the clouds.
Singing too loud.
No mercy in the marrow, feelings in the bone. Sitting on the throne, hardware is hard,
Playing the cards.
software is soft.
Raising the torch aloft.
Ash hits the plate, geometric hate, steel on the bone.
System overthrown.
Tendons are tight, glowing in the night, physics of war.
Settling the score.
Sparks hit the sky,
Watch logic die.
nerves are on fire, burning the wire. Calibrate the breath, processing death. Armor is black,
No turning back. Roast the wheat, burn the street.
screams are just sound buried in the ground.
Roast the wheat, burn the street.
Winter is here, killing the fear. Silo is the hub, join the club, taker of the grain. Processing the pain, ribs against the heat. Victory is sweet, ash in the lungs. Songs being sung, shield wall is the grid.
Do what we bid.
Blade is the key, breaking the knee. Ligaments tear, gas in the air. Oxygen is low, watch the fire grow.
Roast the blade, roast the blade.
Animal physiology,
One roast the blade, roast the blade.
animal physiology.
Roast the blade, roast the blade. Roast the blade, roast the blade. single 45. System reboot to stay alive. Locked elbows, calibrated frame. Zero emotion, no name to blame. Shield face forward, surface flat. Enemy vector, target map. Scanning the movement data flow. Nerves like wire, cold below. Clavicle anchor, tension high. Grid pattern stars in the winter sky. Phalanges clench on the rim, evoke. Logic gate opening, no more smoke. Vertebrae stack, tech and logic wall. Physics law says they must fall. Latency zero, response is fast. Built to endure, built to last. Shield, wall, sink. Iron will link. 1, 2, 3. Code of the vortex done as it should. Exhale the strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. The strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. Exhale on thrust, lungs collapse. Firing the impulse through the synapse. Mechanical repetition, spear in the gap. Closing the distance, shutting the trap. Femur brace, quadriceps locked. Sensory input, static shock. Bone marrow frozen, solid state. Processing speed, decide their fate. Third beat, impact, splintering grain. Chemical data flooded the brain. Rib cage, lex piston drive. Only the algorithm stays alive. Accent firing, current surge. Biological units start to merge. Shoulder to shoulder, buffer set. Paying the iron, paying the debt. Shield wall sink. Iron will link. 1, 2, 3. Code of the vortex done as it should. Exhale the strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. The strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. Point entry vector under the jaw. Natural selection, digital law. Cartilage tearing out of your peak. Frequency high, inherit the weak. Clock speed climbing over clock hard. Tearing the anatomy unit apart. Locked elbows transfer the weight. Mass multiplied by the factor of hate. Scaphoid grip tendons tight. Infrared vision pierced in the night. Pelvis stabilized, pivot the torso. Violence is certain. Only more so. Skin is just calmer. Puncture the layer. Inputting commands. Execution a player. Third beat rhythm. Splinter the shield. Processing harvest. Clearing the field. Radius, ulna, humerus lock. Synchronized post biomechanical clock. No mercy found in the motherboard marrow. Aiming the shaft, launching the arrow. Shield wall sink. Iron will link. 1, 2, 3. Code of the vortex done as it should. Exhale the strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. The strike. Strike the calibration. End the life termination. Calibration. Complete system shut down. Blood on the circuit. Red on the ground. Wow. Bone ash. Settling data sword. 101 edge of the sword. On the balcony looking below, watch the whole city begin to erode. I spit on the marble, I break the design. The geometry fails, I cross every line. Your columns are brittle like shattered old bone. I rewrite the logic of each heavy stone. My nervous system is hardwired to kill. I calibrate axes with ironclad will. The data is leaking from cracks in the wall. I laugh as the framework starts reaching to fall. Your laws of physics cannot hold the weight. I execute orders, I cleanse the whole state. Smash the glass, break the code.
Let the structures all corrode.
Crush the marrow, burn the file.
Victory on the total pile.
Tear the tendons from the street.
Heart of iron.
Drum and beat.
Iron beat. Iron beat. I smash through the window, the colors of glass. Glitch in the system, we watch it all pass. Red silk and tapestry sink in the mud. Wet leather boots mixing water and blood. I trample the fabric, I shred the fine thread. The ribs of this palace are already dead. I measure the distance, I process the pain. I pump all the marrow through every vein. Your towers are equation like gold with a blade. I delete the history, I end architecture built for the fall.
Smash the glass, break the code.
Let the structures all corrode.
Crush the marrow, burn the file.
Victory on the total pile.
Tear the tendons from the street.
Heart of iron.
Drum and beat.
I and B. I and B. Topple the idol, the golden geometry. Erase every statue, delete the identity. It hits the pavement, a physical crash. Turn all the currency into the ash. The spine of the city is snapping in two. We reformat the earth and we start something new. No feelings, no mercy, just hard physics law. I tear at the foundation with iron and claw.
The data is dead. Ooh.
I climb up the rubble, I stand on the wreck. I put my cold hatchet right into the neck of every column of every high arch. The war is a circuit, we keep up the march. My written pages clamping on lungs made of steel. I do not remember how weak it can feel. I spit on the shards of the polished white floor. We don't need the windows, we don't need the door. I calculate impact, I also apply force. The river is changing the path of its course. I ripped out the wiring, I shorted the grid. I buried the secret the architect is.
Smash the glass, break the code.
Let the structures all corrode.
Crush the marrow, burn the file.
Victory on the total pile.
Tear the tendons from the street.
Heart of iron.
Drum and beat.
The bones of the South are turning to dust. The iron is stronger than gold and mollusk. Calibration complete. System deleted. Bone and iron. Wind takes over.
Days are white, the system is cold. The logic is ancient, the story is old. Thermal rejection, the mercury drops. The blood in the vessel just freezes and stops. Scanning the sector, the data is clear. No room for the spirit, no space for the fear. Oxygen levels are thin in the lung. The math of the mountain has finally been sung. Hardware is brittle, the copper is gray. We wait for the logic to burn out the day. Frost blackened toes on the floor of the tent. Every last joule of the energy spent. Chisel the ice from the bone and the steel. Whatever is broken is all we can feel. Calibrate anger, the commentary blight. Eyes have adjusted to blending white light. Boom, and the ash. Boom, and the ash. The code of the north is a fracturing crash. I walk through the camp with the limp in my stride. There's nowhere for organic matter to hide. I see a companion, a statue in blue. The physics of freezing has bitten him through. I kick the stiff leg of the comrade I knew. He snaps like a branch that the blizzard just threw. No moisture remains in the ocular cell. Just crystalline structures are frozen in shell. My synapses fire in a binary track. There is no direction, there's no going back. The tendons are wires, the muscle is stone. I harvest the logic that lives in the bone. On the ribs of the dead, Calculation errors inside of the head. The geometry shifts and the drift of the snow. The biological clocks are beginning to slow. I find a femur, I crack it in two. The marrow is solid, a nutrient glue. I gnaw on the frozen marrow and grit. The data of hunger is all that is lit. I swallow the minerals cold and severe. A hardware upgrade for the final frontier. The ribs are like rafters, the pelvis a base. I map out the wreckage in temporal space. The cold is the only thing proven as real. We burned all the feelings to feed the main fire. Calibrate, kill, calibrate, slay. We are the data that wouldn't decay. Predators stick like a tower of lead. I am the process of the dead. Internal combustion is still in the frame. I've forgotten the syntax, I've forgotten the name. Just the geometry, just the design. The frost is a virus that's crossing the line. It rewrites the nerves into fiber and glass. I watch all the biological limitations pass. One man remaining, the last to be seen. Part of the mountain and part of machine. I stare at the horizon, the burning white glare. The physics of winter is all that is there. Chisel the ice from the bone and the steel. Whatever is broken is all we can feel. Calibrate anger, the geometry blight. Eyes have adjusted to blinding white light. Bone and the ash. Bone and the ash. The code of the north is a fracturing crash. Failure 0 degrees. I am the ice in the joints and the knees. Calibration, complete the blizzard is done. I am the only one left under the sun. No more nerves, no more pain. Only the static resides in the brain.
Piercing the scapular plate, soot mixed with plasma to calculate fate. Shoulder is bleeding, the dark fish is sink. System is loading, no buffer to blink. Iron meets tendon, the pivot is set. Hardware is dripping with ritual sweat. Mapping the radius, bone with the red. Accessing data from inside the dead. Needle is carving the geometry deep. Promise is broken, the physics we keep. Owner firing a high voltage spark. Tracing the lineage out in the dark. Ribs are the case in the lungs of the drive. Oxygen input to keep it alive. Calibration of muscle and vein. Etching the output of ancient disdain.
My blood is the code, my bone is the grid. We carry the weight of the things that they did. The geometry ball, the physics of war. We open the lock on the final door.
Input the names of the matriarch line. As for the marrow, the vessel is fine. Hilda the ligament sequence is spun. Sacred the logic of what must be done. G-U-D-R-U-N is etched in the jaw. Primary source of the biological law. Femoral pressure, the stance is secure. Ancestral data is liquid and pure. Soot in the incision, the stain is permanent. Biological circuit, the war is imminent. Vertebrae stacked like the stones on the coast. I am the hardware and I am the host. Scanning the longhouse, the smoke is a cloud. Wrapping the ribcage in a leather shroud. Skull is the process, our vision is clear. 0% in the spectrum of fear.
My blood is the code, my bone is the grid. We carry the weight of the things that they did. The geometry calls, the physics of war. We open the lock on the final door.
Bone to the bone, blood to the blood. Feet in the ash, in the ice, in the mud. Bone to the bone, blood to the blood. Fixing the flow in the body. mechanical snaps. Axe edges sharp for the temporal lapse. Calculate trajectory, swing from the hip, tighten the tendons, no failing the grip. Scapular lock as the shoe meets the blow. Kinetic energy starting the flow. Macro is burning like fuel in the tank, breaking the code of the enemy rank. Mandible clenched on the bitter cold air. Nothing but calibrated death in the stare. Phalanges wrapped on the handle of oak, vanishing into the sage and the flow. Final stand logic is burning the flesh, caught in the ancient and modern mesh. Geometry perfected, the circle lived on. I am the last of the million stars.
My blood is the code, my bone is the grid.
We carry the weight of the things that they did. The geometry calls, the physics of war. We open the lock on the final door. On the ribs, calibration complete. End of day to scream, bone needle stops.
For muffles heavy tread, keep the marrow cold instead. I scan the geometry ahead, where the liquid veins have bled. Calibrate the femur weight, calculate the frozen state. Systems check on iron blade, open up the glacial gate. Input data through the soul, nerves are taking full control. Ice is brittle, ice is old, blacker than the void unfold. Read the binary of cracks, map the deadly frozen tracks. Axis tightened on our backs, physics cutting through the facts. Hands up, higher, stop the line, watch the geometry design. Body of the cold, stories in the strata told. Raise a pontoon out the storm, keep the ligaments from warm. Melodied every breath, walking on the skull of death. Vertebrae in perfect stack, lungs are tight and turning black. Heart is pumping in the slack, never let the rhythm crack. Hardware clanking on the hip, never let the iron slip. Biomechanics in the grip, silent is the warrior ship. Nerves are cables in the thaw, written in the ancient law. Scapula within the claw, deepest darkness ever saw. Calibrate the tension wire, cold is cleaner than the fire. Lift the tendon higher, higher, walking on a frozen pyre. Don't speak, grins are cages for the beast, waiting for the winter feast. Geometry of west and east, where the physics has decreased. Hands up, high to stop the line, watch the geometry design. Body of the cold, stories in the strata told. Raise a palm to half the storm, keep the ligaments from warm. LD every breath, walking on the skull of death. The chest, still the marrow in the rest. Ocular is scanning west, putting physics to the test. Wait for echo to subside, nowhere left for us to hide. Nerves are burning deep inside, let the frozen surface guide. Shield on scapula is tight, moving through the liquid night. Algorithm burning bright, data points within the sight. Leg is piston, hip is gear, disconnect the sense of fear. Only metal parts are here, keep the vision crystal clear. Uplink to the ancient king, hear the frozen tendons sing. Axes are the only thing, wait for what the void will bring. Sequence start and sequence end, bones are built to never bend. Data that the gods defend, to the other side we turn. Hands up high, higher, stop the line, watch the geometry design. Cody of the cold, stories in the strata told. Raise a bond to held the storm, keep the ligaments from warm. LD every breath, walking on the stall of death. Step on rock and step on stone. Now the marrow is our own. Interfaces fully grown. Data on the monolith throne. System lock, system code.
Knuckles turning grey, like the dust on the sleet. Obsidian eyes where the data streams meet. Epidermis locking in a geometric grid. Hardening the surface where the carnage is hid. Synapses firing with the code, binary code. Carrying the weight of the entire warload. Ligaments tighten like a tensioned wire. Colder than the ash of a dead signal fire. Radius and Luna fusing granite and grit. Armor-plated system is a perfected fit. Raven on the shoulder is a sensor of steel. Hardening the edge so the flesh cannot feel. Phosphate and calcium constructing the wall. Waiting for the structure of the temple to fall. Bone marrow freezing into mercury veins. Wrapping up the nervous in a system of chains.
Let's right fight, shedding the storm of the north.
Cold metal data is the only way past.
Strike the bone, strike the bone.
Granite command on a calcified throne. Kingdom of mineral and marrow alone.
Marrow alone.
Kingdom of mineral and marrow alone.
Marrow alone.
Calibrating tendons for the force of the swing. Listen to the sound as the axle trees ring. Rib cage is a lattice for the centralized unit. Tension in the maxilla, I know how to tune it. No more soft tissue in the gap of the joint. Arrowhead is sharpened to a calculated point. Input the trajectory and output the kill. Lying in the biceps is the only free will. Femur is a column in the valley of ice. Sacrifice the senses as the ultimate price. Vertebrae are clicking like a JR in place. Harassing the softness of the map on the face. Scapula is bound to the geometry laws. No more blood flowing to the tips of the claws. System reboot in the chill of the void. All the organic is entirely destroyed.
Let's right fight, shell in the storm of the north.
Cold metal data is the only way fast.
Strike the bone, strike the bone.
Granite command on a calcified throne. Kingdom of mineral and marrow alone.
Marrow alone.
Kingdom of mineral and marrow alone.
Marrow alone.
I am the physics of a crushing weight. I am the metal in the hand of fate. Formula for war in the dead of the night. Logic is the only king pervading the light. He are prey falling to a singular beast. Statue of victory in the midst of defeat. Callus is off thicker than the layer of dust. Iron eagle breaking of the surface of rust. Push it to the limit, but the skin will not tear. Mineralize the structure of the weight that I bear. He art beach registers their once brimming youth. Empty is the chamber with no pulses within it. Musty is a concrete that is set in the mold, generating nothing but the purely cold obsidian, reflecting back the edge of the blade. Watching at the color of the living real fate. Terminal tire blood in my core, shutting down the senses at the end of the war. Fossilized history of everyone living in.
Cause logic is jagged and wrong. The structural hardware is no longer strong. Calcium error within the design. Fractured data corrupts the whole line. The system is lagging, the geometry fails. Drive the cold iron through software and nails. Owner distortion is slowing the pace. Delete the old union and clear out the space. Malformed granulation is clogging the nerve. Reset the axis and straighten the curve. No mercy for weakness, no pity for fault. Lock the joint logic inside of the vault. Rewrite the matrix and sharpen the blade. Correcting the damage the first battle made. Bite down hard on the black and strap. Close the circuit and bridge the gap. Muscle fiber tense in the cold. Prepare for the heat as the marrow is rolled. Input the agony, process the strain. Hardwire the logic and bypass the pain. Tell the old nerve they no longer belong. Break the weak link to make the core strong. Crack the radius, snap the bone. Separate the calcium from the throne. Rewrite the code in the white marrow heat. Force the new fusion, admit no defeat. Snap, snap, break, heal, thicker than iron. Thicker than iron, thicker than steel. Snap, snap, break, heal, thicker than iron. Thicker than iron, thicker than steel. Thicker than iron, thicker than steel. Forearm is severed at the junction point. Pressure applied to the faulty built joint. Sickening sound as the fissure divides. Where the weakness and failure resides. Extract the trauma and purge the files. Stack the raw data in the funeral pile. Neural pathways are burning red hot. Recalibrating the point of the shot. Geometry perfected in shivers of white bone shards. Resetting in darkness of night. Alignment confirming the marrow and vein. Extracting the logic from static and rain. No softness is offered, no oil is applied. Just the hard physics of where we collide. Shield wall requires a stable support. Rebuilding the bastion, rearming the fort. Split the limb with the heavy oak. Bind the skin in the charcoal smoke. Wrapping it tight in the rawhide cord. Tempering bone like a Viking sword. Compression to harden the cell, forging the calcium inside of the hell. Structural integrity rising in rank, fill up the void with the energy sank. Neural feedback is locking the gate, turning the terror to massive dead weight. Crack the radius, snap the bone, separate the calcium from the throne. Rewrite the code in the white marrow heat. Force the new fusion, admit no defeat. Snap, snap, break, heal, thicker than iron. Thicker than iron, thicker than steel. Snap, snap, break, heal, thicker than iron. Thicker than iron, thicker than steel. Thicker than iron, thicker than iron. Calibration is fixed at 100%, no more vibrations where the energy went. Tendons are caught like a bowstring of wire. Hardened and glued off the test and the fire. System rebooted, the arm is now dense. Evolutionary growth, the body's expands. Thicker than nature intended to grow. Ready for impact and ready to throw. Armored anatomy shielded by stars. Reading the data and counting the bars. Heavy the fist and heavy the strike. The new lifting radius is sharp as a spike. Thicker the marrow, stronger the bone. Heavier the strike. Geometry of love. Geometry of war. Da, 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 da.
Steel meets the jawbone, grinding the hinge. Fear is a data point, tactile and singe. Watch all the battering ram, splinters the yoke. Binary slaughter through fire and smoke. Calculate marrow and measure the weight. I am the program, breaching the gate. Systems of blood vessels leak on the stone. Kings flee the chamber, leaving the throne.
No more prayers, only the axe.
No more codes, only the track.
No more kings, only the axe.
No more kings, only the crash. Archives are burning, the data is gone. Nerves of the city are stripped in the dawn. Tendons are snapping like copper and wire. Geometry mapping the path of the fire. Crowns on the floorboards are discarded lead. Scan for the heartbeat, confirm they are dead. I see the geometry fail at the wall. Gravity pulls at the great and the small.
Splinter the hinge, let the bone marrow flow. Override reason with every blow. War horns are drowning the bells in the tower. Crushing the lineage, stripping the power. Splinter the hinge, feel the ribcage divide. Nowhere for coward or liar to hide. Valkyrie avatar coding the fall. Ashes the only remain of it all.
iron, shatter the logic, the wolf and the lion. Blood is the coolant for iron and will. Physical laws say they have to be still. Calibrate edges to slice through the nerve. End of the spiral, the final subcurve. Monarchs are running with nothing to save. Mapping the coordinates into the grave.
Bones, ash, code, crash.
Bones, ash, cold, crash.
Bones, ash, code, crash.
Rims break open like a door.
Nothing left upon the floor.
Splintering timber and shattering glass. Watch as the physical shadows will pass. Ligaments tearing from socket and joint. I am the terminal access point. Burn every record and burn every deed. Only the hunger and only the speed. No more diplomacy fixed in the script. Power is something that's finally stripped. Splinter the hinge, let the bone marrow flow. Override reason with every blow. War horns are drowning the bells in the tower. Crushing the lineage,
Stripping the power.
splinter the hinge, feel the ribcage divide. Nowhere for coward or liar to hide. Valkyrie avatar coding the fall. Ash is the only remain of it all. I am the end of the geometry line. Shatter the human and cut the divine. Bone and the ash and the iron and cold. Stories are over, the data is sold.
Stealing the radius, stealing the owner. Body recalculates the physical formula. Black bile leaks to the frost on the ground. Neural pathways dead to the sound. Teeth grind calcium struts in the jaw, rejecting the venom by biological law. I spit the dark on the roots of the tree, recalibrating the geometry of me. Nightshade stains on the dirt and the leaf. No room for mercy, no room for the grief. Liver is filtering toxic low data, fixing the glitch in the flesh system layer. Bones are the chassis, the marrow is fuel. War is the logic, the piston is cruel. Thunder in tendons and iron in vein, rewriting the circuit to silence the pain. Vomit the nightshade, crush the deceit. Rise from the poison on carbon fiber feet. Axe is the hardware, blood is the code. Hailing the system on the Valhalla road. Swat out the venom in clots of the cold. Warrior structure in a battle-born mold. Muscle fibers knitting in a visible stitch, closing the tear and the functional glitch. Connective tissue pulls tight on the frame. Body ignoring the burning, the flame. Thermal scan, rising the skin starts to steam. Venom is purged from the biological stream. Shoulder blades lock him like plates on a shield. I am the factory and I am the field. Rib cage expanding on mechanical hinge, flushing the veins of the chemical tinge. Subcutaneous repair is complete, laying the toxins at the base on my feet. Knit the fiber, weld the joint, sharpen the iron to the killing point. Knit the fiber, weld the joint, sharpen the iron to the killing point. Synapses firing at maximum rate, closing the wound in the physical gauge. Cartilage hardens the armored defense. Biological logic is vicious and dense. I am the weapon reclaiming the drive, processing venom to stay more alive. Calibration of the cardiac pump, clearing the stagnant and poisonous lump. Nerves are on fire like electric wires, fueling the heat of the ancestral fires. I lay in the nightshade, but I am the thorn. Out of the toxic, a warlord is born. flooding the alveoli cells, free from the stagnant and venomous spells. Lungs are expanding like sails in the storm, returning the body to optimal form. Thunder in tendons and iron in vein, rewriting the circuit to silence the pain. Vomit the nightshade, crush the deceit, rise from the poison on carbon fiber feet. Axe is the hardware, blood is the code, healing the system on the Valhalla road. Sweat out the venom in clots of the cold, warrior structure in a battle-born mold. System online, process refined, iron in marrow, aim of the arrow.
Iron in the vein, cold in the marrow, cold in the pain. Iron in the soil, iron in the vein, cold in the marrow, cold in the pain. I'm at the radius, I read the grid. Nothing is hidden, nothing is hid. Red drop is melting into the white frost. Calculating physics, calculating cost. Scanning the vector, reading the spray, plotting the geometry of my decay. My femoral artery writes the design, redistributing data, crossing the line. Bone against iron, steel against nerve, tracing the arc of the incoming curve. The pattern is logic, the pattern is cold, reading the future before it is told. Arterial spray is the architect's plan, coding the fate of the dying man. Reading the blood on the frozen floor, calibrating the logic of eternal war. Arterial spray is the architect's plan, coding the fate of the dying man. Reading the blood on the frozen floor, calibrating the logic of eternal war. Reading the trajectory of the arterial spray, finding the blind side, finding the way. Ribs of the scaffold, spine is the mass. Recording the data, recording it fast. Sensors in tendons, sensors in skin, tracking the orbit where the blades begin. Pivoting on the heel before the blade connects. I see the latency, I see the effects. Scanning the rhythm, hacking the beat, cold binary vision, cold binary heat. My blood is the ink, the snow is the page. Optimizing fury, optimizing rage. Sinking the marrow, seeking the breath, decoding the sequence of imminent death. My humor shatters, the data expands, writing the kill with my own severed hands. No ghost in the system, no spirit in sight, just mechanical tension, just mechanical might. Propagating trauma, processing loss, mapping the circle, mapping the cross. Red ink on the tundra, red ink on the ice, calculating damage, calculating price. The physics of impact, the laws of the blade. I read the perimeter, I am not afraid. Arterial spray is the architect's plan, coding the fate of the dying man. Reading the blood on the frozen floor, calibrating the logic of eternal war. Arterial spray is the architect's plan, coding the fate of the dying man. Reading the blood on the frozen floor, calibrating the logic of eternal war. Bone data, nerve data, blood code, war mode, radius lock, system shock, calibrating the angle of the final strike, getting the master in the serving the light. I am the terminal, I am the end, watching the arc of the metal descend, analyzing gravity, analyzing torque, splitting the ribcage, spitting the fork. The pattern is perfect, the pattern is set, collecting the dividend, collecting in the dead. Nervous system is a high-speed wire, forging the output in the industrial fire. Every collision is a calculated fact, executing program, executing act. I see your movement, I see the lag, put the remains in a synthetic bag. The trajectory is clear, the geometry is here. Red pixels on the white, closing down the light. System offline, end of design.
Ice in the marrow, the data is cold. Iron in tendons, the story is told. Skin is the canvas, the mapping is set. Geometry frozen in shadow and sweat. Boot hits the water, the liquid turns stone. Physics of winter deep inside the bone. River is frozen with one single step. System restarts where the ancestors slept. Calibration of frost in the cavity of ribs. Burning the data in the ancestral cribs. I run the code through the nerves of the hand, mapping the geometry over the land. Axle of winter is turning the gears, counting the data through thousands of years. Ice in the sinew is locking the joint, reaching the lethal triangulation point. X of the blizzard, the sky turns to black. No temperature left, there is no turning back. Vortex of hail swirling round the arid sphere. Calibrated chaos is all that they fear. Lungs out of the bellows that darken the sun. Algorithm of slaughter has finally begun. Teeth of the glacier are grinding the meat, measured in pixels of ancient defeat. Blood in the valves, it is thick like the oil. Pressure is rising beneath the cold soil. I am the processor, I am the storm. New mathematics in physical form. Spine is the tower, the signal is sent. Into the vacuum, the oxygen went. Skull is the casing for hardware of old. Turn the environment bitter and cold. Crush the marrow, crush it. Break the bone, break it. Ice is the master, upon the throne. Shout at the peak, the foundation will break. Avalanche follows the path that I take. Bones are the pillars, the tendons are wire, freezing the world in the absence of fire. One single shout and the mountain will fall. Death is the data that swallows them all. Physics of gravity, laws of the height, crushing the valley in curtains of white. Skill is the hardware, the vertex is set. Killing the warmth is the primary threat. Nerves are on fire with 0 degrees, laying the valley down onto its knees. Shield is the interface, axe is the key, locking the current from mounting to sea. Scanning the marrow for fragments of lead. Binary logic inside of the dead. Filter the breath through the mesh of the lung. Oldest of languages now is unsung. Total command of the thermal decay, turning the light into shadows of gray. Exhale the blizzard, the sky turns to black. No temperature left, there is no turning back. Vortex of hail swirling round the arid sphere. Calibrated chaos is all that they fear. System is stable. The geometry is fixed. Ash and the iron, the signals are mixed.
Calibration, target lock.
Grinding teeth on granite rock.
Bone to bone, the marrow thrum, waiting for the heavy drum. Data points on shield and spear, calculation static clear. Tendons tight in carbon steel, broken ribs under the heel. I do not swing, I execute. Every vocal cord is mute. Larynx ruptures a rectal snap, closing every tactical gap. Cortex firing neural node, executing vessel code. Vertical slice, horizontal tear.
I can smell the copper air.
I move like a metronome. The battlefield is my only home. Step over a corpse on the downbeat, slicing a throat on the upbeat. Geometry of the killing floor, perfect logic, total war.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone. Millimeter cardiac hearing, arrow flight, sensors tracking through the night. Femur shatters, radius breaks, zero glitch, zero mistakes. Exit velocity, terminal force, calculating the collision course. Intercostal muscle strain, data dumping from the brain. Scapula crush, patella grind, leaving the human state behind. Physics governing the arc, biting deep into the dark. Phalanges snap, the grip is tight, processing the end of life. I move like a metronome.
Kill.
The battlefield is my only home.
Kill.
Step over a corpse on the downbeat, slicing a throat on the upbeat. Geometry of the killing floor, perfect logic, total war.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone. Data stream and a nerve and beam. Thorax static in the wire, frozen lungs and liquid fire. System check, severed vexel, broken neck. I am the algorithm now, crown of iron on the brow. Synapse burst, the signal leaps, while the corpse pile slowly heaps. Fractured skull, make the rhythmic rhythm know. Abdominal wall, internal bleed, processing at maximum speed. Tibia splinter, spinal cord, calculating with the sword. Ulnar nerve, humeral head, binary between the dead. No emotion, no regret, only the geometry med. Clinical dust, mandible crack, never looked in left or back. 101, the sequence runs brighter than 1,000 suns. Cartilage and connective tissue, is the only
logical issue.
I move like a metronome.
Kill.
The battlefield is my only home.
Kill.
Step over a corpse on the downbeat, slicing a throat on the upbeat. Geometry of the killing floor, perfect logic, total war.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone.
Moving like a metronome.
Flesh and marrow, skin and bone.
Is done. Counting skulls, one by one. The sequence ends, the system sleeps. Blood is all the memory keeps.
Metronome stop. Metronome stop. Metronome stop. In the shadow, tendons stretched like a tension wire, nerves transmitting a frozen fire. System reboot in the cage of ribs, no blood leaking from the surgical bibs. Calcium struts and a spine of lead, calculating vectors of the rotting dead. Data corrupt in the frontal lobe, frozen surface of the killing globe. Hard drive beating in a chest of stone, static crackling in the collarbone. Ligaments locking like a gear in place, zero expression on the metal face. I am the vessel, stripped of the meat. I am the rhythm of the killing beat. Follow the vessel, empty the core for the iron law. Grinding the bone in the wolf head jaw. Follow the vessel, no pulse moving in the frozen vein. Only the data of the ancient pain. Follow the vessel, iron mass with a heavy yield. Drag the mountain across the field. Heavier than the hand that holds steel, calibrated in ancient molds. Weapon geometries built to break, physics shifted for the murder's sake. Mud is thick and the clay is black, no footprint left on the killing track. Weightless physics in the heavy sludge, cold mechanics are the only judge. Friction zero as the blades rotate, opening the portal of the killing gate. Synapse firing with a tech delay, ending the program of the light of day. Fixed on the North Star light, moisture zero in the heat of fight. Optical data was the only bit, scanning the wound where the axe has hit. No nerve crying as the steel goes in, only the vibration of the metal skin. Anatomy map for the maximum tear, chemical silence in the winter air. I am the hardware of the old god war, open Calibration completing the wrist and fist, fading away in the technical mist. I tap my chest with a skeletal hand. It echoes like a hollow log across the land. No organ pumping and no lung to fill, just the vibration of a static will. Empty the body and the skull within, to let the violence finally begin. I am the vessel, stripped of the meat. I am the rhythm of the killing beat. On the vessel, empty the core for the iron law, grinding the bone in the wolf-fed jaw. On the vessel, no pulse moving in the frozen vein, only the depths of the ancient pain. On the vessel, hollow vessel, hollow vessel. System shut down in the frozen mud. No warm liquid, not a drop of blood. Hollow vessel.
Iron teeth grind through the marrow of the clay. I wipe the data of the life away. Heavy iron plow cutting through the rib cage, calibrating terror for a new dead age. Dragging cold metal through the smoldering vein, programming the silence and the physical pain. Topsoil burning like a bleeding nerve, executing orders that the conquered deserve. My femur is the lever and my will is the code, walking down the center of this shattered road, tearing open sacks of the coarse sea salt, bringing every circuit to a grinding halt, pouring out the sodium, the white mineral death. I can feel the poison in the earth's last breath. Geometry a ruin in the furrows I trace, deleting every segment of this fertile space.
So the topsoil,
Break the nerve, feed them every data point they deserve.
crush the seedbed,
Kill the bone, I am the queen on a frozen throne.
crush the bone.
No regeneration in the cartilage. We are writing the end of the living game. Underneath my heel, I can feel the seeds crack. There is no algorithm to bring the life back. Crunching the embryo, the biological gear, hardwired failure and the frequency of fear. Smell of burnt earth in the lining on my nose, where the blackened fascia of the landscape shows. I recalibrate the chemical weight, sealing off the entry to the garden gate. Vector of the ash, system total crash. Tendons of the meadow, fading in the shadow. Binary of poison, ending the horizon. My muscles are the piston. The gods better listen. Scanning the horizon for a single pulse. Every nerve ending is becoming false. No green, no growth, just a gray machine. The purest wasteland that the eyes have seen. Salt in the socket, salt in the pore. We don't need the harvest in the engine of war. Salt in the synapse, salt in the vein. Physical mapping of the infinite state.
Sell the topsoil,
Break the nerve, feed them every data point they deserve.
crush the seedbed,
Kill the bone, I am the queen on a frozen throne.
crush the bone.
No regeneration in the cartilage. We are writing the end of the living game. Iron plow, dragging white death, bagging, gagging, nerve lines, fraying. No one is praying. Calibration steady, the topsoil is dead. I fill up the void with the chemicals instead. Bone and ash, bone and ash. I am the master of the physical crash. Sodium gold. Sodium gold.
Sodium gold,
Iron will. Dead earth.
dead dirt,
No day
is frozen. The vessel is chosen. The cervical vertebrae click into place. Cold calibration across the face. The spine snaps upright at 90 degrees, accessing ancient and lethal decrees. Ligaments tighten like braided steel wire. Circuits of flesh set the synapse on fire. Optic nerve burning of iridian flare. Sickly green phosphorus thick in the air. Calcium scaffolding rigid and stark. Rebooting the war in the center of dark. Internal logic is cleansed of the weak. Listen to how the dead Valkyries speak. Metacarpals are locked of the grip. Watch how the skin and the membrane will rip. No individual will in the vein. Only the geometry of infinite pain. One jaw hinge, hard iron rain. Multiple frequency. War is the only computable node. One jaw hinge, hard iron rain. Multiple frequency. War is the only computable node. Digging through permafrost, shoveling mud. Iron is thirsty for biological blood. Unearthing the blades that were buried in peat. Forging the data to never retreat. Rusted edge slicing through tendon and node. Executing the primary slaughterhouse code. Abdominal muscles are clamped in a vice. Sacrificing the living is worth the price. Calibration of arc and the swing. Listen to how the dead warhammers ring. No longer human, just hardware of hate. Bypassing all of the lockings of fate. Anterior deltas adjusting the load. Watching the path of the ancestor road. Femurs are bolted to frozen ground. Waiting for total destruction to sound. We speak through the jaw.
We open the hatch.
The bone and the circuits. The dead are the only ones truly alive. Carve the coordinates.
The void in the chest.
We speak through the jaw. The songs of the end. Cartilage grinding on oxidized hilt. Blood is the coolant the vessels have spilt. Nervous system is hacked by the ghost. Standing as sentry on northernmost post. Rib cage is clashing like shields in a row. Watching the output of violence grow. Thermal imaging scanning the field. Broken men praying to never more yield. Fibers of muscle are gearing away. Processing death in the light of the day. Maximum outputting every stride. Nowhere for modern we bodies to hide. Radius sonar are locked in a brace. Deleting the memory of mercy and grace. Pelvis is tilting to balance the weight. Calculating the arrival of fate. Steady. The army of bone is finally ready.
Steel on steel, the rebrinder. Calibration of the warrior mind. Iron will in the frozen chest. Putting the data to the test. I fall fast through the tearing sky, where the oxygen and the famine die. Wings made of jagged black ice spread, scanning the living and mapping the dead. My spirits catching the moonlight glow, a geometric strike on the filth below. I see the geometry of the blade, a perfect cut that the anvil made. No soft mercy, no golden light, just the physics of the endless night.
Bone and ash. Bone and ash.
I run away. is a broken line. I calculate the force of the blow, where the red fluid start to flow. Blow my relics on the frozen mud, mapping the value of the warrior blood. Your nerves are firing a failing code, while the muscle groups explode. I am the system, I am the law, feeding the hunger, the raven's jaw. Harvest the perfect, rewrite the cell. No soft wire, no burning hell. Open the jawbone, extract the core, collecting the data of eternal war. I reach inside where the lungs are torn. A new equation is being born. No abstract thought, no hollow prayer, just the stench of the frozen air. I grip the skull with an iron fist, checking the items on the vulture list. Your connectivity is ripped apart, stopping the pumping of the failing heart. I pull the essence through the teeth, from the anatomy that lies beneath. Every ligament is snapping loud, under the weight of the thundercloud. 1 tendon snaps, lost in the vapor. 2 lungs collapse, this is the standard. 3 bones are cracked, play in the hand. 4 nerves are dark, frozen in the cold fire. Calibrate the pain in the central nerve, this is the end that the brave deserve. I strip the fascia from the frame, erasing the data of a mortal name. The scalpel precision of a Valkyrie dive, keeping the vital statistics alive. Your skeleton is a map of the fight, glowing cold in the morning light. Harvest the perfect, rewrite the cell. No soft wire, no burning hell. Open the jawbone, extract the core, collecting the data of eternal war. I reach inside where the lungs are torn. A new equation is being born. Logic prevails, system complete. Sound of wings cutting the air at high speed.
The system is locked, bone density maximum, geometry shocked. Cartilage fusing to shields made of steel, cold logic erasing the nerve and the pulse. My radius fractures like permafrost ground. Static is rising without any sound. The marrow is stagnant, the valves are all shut. Iron is filling the open wound cut. Hardware is merging with humorous white. Black data bleeding in shards of the light. X in the ready is bolted and stuck. Physics of stasis with 0 more luck. The flesh is the stone, the ice is the bone. The flesh is the stone, the ice is the bone. Veins turning into long sims of quartz. Calcium flooding the inner resorts. Blood is a binary, vicious and slow. Nowhere for oxygen atoms to go. I am the monolith rendered in gray. Sunlight is deleted and faded away. Skin is now petrified granite and grit. Every last fiber is perfectly fit. Calibration of ribs to the angle of death. I am the vacuum that holds the last breath. Colloidal sine wave and frozen display. Total house of the organic decay. Granite skin covering the X in the frame. Frozen eternity, forgetting the name. Quartz in the vessel and lights in the eye. Watching the geometry limit reply. No heart is beating in tesseract law. No life is leaving the predator jaw. The last monument in the 0 degree. Frozen forever for no one to see. Cranial vault is the server of slag. Physics is pulling the ultimate drag. Lumber is welded to basalt and shale. Biological drivers are destined to fail. Mapping the atrophy marrow by inch. Tendons are frozen and cannot more flinch. I am the monument molded in gloom. Flesh is the architecture of the tomb. Cold is the compiler freezing the code. Stone is the destination, end of the road. Cellular structure is quartz in the light. Buried in data will never ignite. Dum 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 dum. da dum 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 da dum. No more organic rhythm to keep. Into the petrified silence we leap. The last exhalation is suspended in glass, watching the aeons and centuries pass. Final exhalation of oxygen freezing. Mid-air suspension is harsh and unpleasing. Cloud of my breathing turns solid and stark, ending like shrapnel inside of the dark. Capillary snap in the absolute cold. Story of carbon is finished and told. Ligaments lacking the kneecap in place. Statue of triumph with void on the face. Cold in the collagen turning to dust. Iron is merging with scabbard and rust. System stability 0%. I am the fossil and I am content. Credit skin covering the X in the frame. Frozen eternity, forgetting the name. Quartz in the vessel and ice in the eye. Watching the geometry limits reply. No heart is beating in tesseract law. No life is leaving the predator jaw. The last monument in the 0 degree. Frozen forever for no one to see. Absolute silence had settled the land. Frozen forever, a weapon in hand. No more vibration, no frequency shift. And nothing is left in the snow and the drift. Granite and marrow are one and the same. Ending the cycle and quelling the flame. Ending the cycle and quelling the flame.